My debut novel, The Quiet, is now available to pre-order. There are links in the description and there'll be more info at the end. When I was watching Succession for the first time, this thought kept on circling around my head. The music is really great, but why are they using the same piece over and over again? An ungenerous version of me replied, well, they're just being lazy. They're trying to fill time or save money by reusing cues. I've seen this before, I thought. I mean, the Hobbit films reused the Ringwraith theme for no particular reason. I still can't get over that one. But then as I continued watching, and the same chord sequence kept on reappearing, I started to understand what was going on. Oh, this is the 8th note piano version. This is the slow one, only strings. This one just has guitars. Hey, in that one the chord sequence slightly changed. Did it go to the flattened second? Wait, is that a new theme, or is it... Oh, I get it. I see what they're doing. The theme and variation model is almost as old as Western music. It started in the Baroque era around 1540, but it's never really died. Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, Brahms, Steve Reich, Britten, Debussy, Dvorak, Elgar, Rachmaninoff, John Williams, even Andrew Lloyd Webber have all turned their hand to penning or stealing a theme and then riffing on it for half an hour or so. And now we can add Nicholas Britell to the list, because let's not mistake what's going on with Succession's music. Over 4 seasons and nearly 40 hours of TV, Britell spells out almost every single variation he can think of for his C minor main theme. Succession is his playground and the music his plaything, and we're just there to see what happens. Classical music might seem like an obvious choice for a program about rich white media moguls. It's hard to escape the connection between social status and classical music, not helped by the hundreds of film and TV scores that reinforce this link. But I don't think that's why Britell went down this route. Well, not the whole reason. For a start, none of the Roy family seemed to like classical music, or anything really artistic or rarefied. And second, the music isn't actually for them at all. Kendall might steal the chord sequence of the main theme for his L to the OG rap.
Look away.
L to the OG, dude be the OG, and he
But the incidental music is never really on their side. That's, I think, why Britell chose this classical-inspired theme and variations approach. It adds distance. One of the draws of writing variations on a theme is the puzzle of it all. A composer can lock themselves away, spending weeks and months finding every way to unearth the expressive potential of a melody. They can flip it, reverse it, make it major or minor. They can make it more or less chromatic. They can change the orchestration or the harmony. They can slow it down, speed it up, destroy it completely and rebuild it from the ground up. It's like a jumbo crossword for the middle class. Drugs for a clean addict. And in a lot of ways, this works for Succession. Instead of providing endless commentary on the narrative in the way that so many scores do nowadays, it sits way back from the action, existing in its own world, noodling away in another room, like the chorus in My Fair Lady, a matte painting, not real, not constructive or destructive in any way, just there. Like Bach's Goldberg variations, Britell's variations on a theme are just content with being. They don't need to justify their own existence. And if it was just a game, I thought, well, I wanted to find out how it was played. So I watched every season again and tried to find all the Easter eggs. I noticed the Prokofiev-inspired Con Fuoco string variation in season 1. The Gabrielli-like brass version. The one that sounds like the death scene in a Verdi opera. the one which seems to begin with a reference to the descending chromatic line in Bach's Ritschika in 3 from his musical offering. Then goes off to become more like Mendelssohn or even Saint-Saëns. I noticed the one where the choir suddenly joins in. Why are they singing Amen? And then the cue in season 4 that turns into Mozart's Requiem halfway through. Even the other musical themes just feel like an extension of the main theme. The Monteverdi chorale first heard in season 1. The Mozart-esque rondo in season 2, like a mini piano concerto. Handel-inspired Concerto Grosso. The Beethoven Impromptu in season 3. These all feel like they're part of the same world, limbs sewn onto the main theme, dwarfed by it, if anything. And of course, each of these new themes have their own variations, new orchestrations and counter-melodies to look out for. Collect them all and you win a prize. What's the prize? I don't know. Feeling self-important. But I think it would be unfair and also incorrect to say that Britel's catalogue of themes and variations are all cerebral exercises in puzzle solving. The constraint of working with limited material often makes what results more affecting, not less. Rachmaninoff comes to mind. When I was 12 and first heard Variation 18 of his Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, I thought I'd just listened to the most beautiful music ever written. I now know that there's more out there, but I'm still awed by how the spiky A minor Paganini theme could become something so powerful by just being flipped upside down and slowed. Interestingly, unlike Rachmaninoff, Britel preserves his main theme almost without exception, but he does follow Rachmaninoff's lead in changing everything else about the music: tempo, harmony, new counter-melodies, new orchestration, and this is where we find the expressive potential of the music. There are too many amazing moments to list them all, but a few rise to the surface. The strings and wind variation of the theme from season 1. This one reminds me of Howard Shore's score for Silence of the Lambs. The cello variation right at the end of season 1. The brass and strings funeral song in season 2. The delicacy and elegance of the Tuscany variation in season 3. Then the subtle but ground-shifting change to the theme in season 4. The thing about listening to the same music over and over again is that you become ultra-sensitive to any slight alterations. Britel knew this, he exploited this, and so at the beginning of season 4, he decided to abandon the chord sequence that would normally accompany the chromatic minor theme, replacing it with something new. A series of delicate suspensions and resolutions following the same basic structure as the original, but transformed. I know what happens in this series, and I won't spoil it, but even without the context, this change seems to tell us that something is coming to an end, like the old pillars holding up the Roy family are all falling into the sea. And once this new paradigm is set up in Season 4, like Rachmaninoff with his Paganini variations, Britten just lets it run. It becomes grand, mournful, aggressive, pained, elegiac, spare, out of control, crystalline, volcanic, gossamer, and finally, at the end of the series, I don't know what. Resolute? The name of this variation is Andante risoluto, at a walking pace with marked accents. That's what the title means, but as for the music, well, the great thing about this score is that I don't have to interpret the meaning, because Britten isn't trying to tell us what to think. What's the meaning of Rachmaninoff's 18th variation? There isn't one. Rachmaninoff wrote it because he wanted to. Britten wrote this music because he wanted to. It exists because it exists. As for the effect it has on the narrative, I'll leave that for you to decide. Thank you so much for watching. As you saw from the intro, my debut novel, The Quiet, is now available to pre-order. So this book follows the story of Hannah and her son Isaac, and they live in a world where an enormous spherical field called the sound field has covered the Earth. This field produces a constant background hum and has also accelerated climate change, leading to a massive refugee crisis from the southern hemisphere to the north, and meaning people need to sleep during the day and work at night. The Quiet will be released in the UK and the US in May 2025, and you can now pre-order using the links in the description. Take a look at my website as well for more information about the story. Pre-ordering is really the best way to help out me as an author, as it contributes to first week sales, meaning I'm more likely to get on those elusive bestseller lists. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.